You smell the smoke first. Then you see it, a wall of flame, climbing higher, swallowing everything in its path. Maybe it's your house, burning from the inside out. Maybe you're surrounded with no way through. Or maybe you're just standing there in the dark, watching it burn, strangely unable to look away. And then you wake up, heart racing, the smell of smoke still somehow in your mind. So you grab your phone and you ask the question that millions of people ask after a night like that. What does it mean to dream about fire? Here's what almost nobody tells you. Fire is never a neutral image. Out of everything your sleeping mind could have shown you, it chose the one element that has terrified and saved human beings since the very beginning. And it did that for a reason. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what your burning dream is actually trying to say. Not superstition, the real psychology underneath it. And stay with me, because the part most people completely misunderstand about fire dreams comes near the end. It might change how you see the whole thing. Let's start with why fire. Why does this one image hit so hard? Think about what fire actually is. It's the only thing in nature that both destroys and creates. It burns a forest to the ground, and from those same ashes, new life grows, often stronger than before. It can take everything from you, and it can keep you warm through the longest night. Our ancestors understood this better than we do. Fire was survival. It cooked their food, kept the predators back, held the darkness at bay. But turn your back on it for one moment, and it could take the whole camp. So fire got written into us as something sacred and dangerous at the same time, something powerful enough to change everything. And that's the key to understanding it in a dream. Fire is never about something small. It shows up when something inside you is intense, when emotion is running high, when something is ending or beginning, and it's too big to ignore. In psychology, especially in the work of Carl Jung, fire represents transformation and raw emotional energy. Anger you've been holding in, passion you've been denying, a part of your life that is burning down so something new can take its place. Fire is the psyche turning up the heat because something needs to change, and it needs to change now. But here's the thing, fire in a dream is never just fire. What it's doing and how you feel watching it changes everything. So let's go through the most common burning dreams. And as we do, I want you to notice which one feels like yours. First, your house is on fire. This is one of the most common and one of the most revealing. In dreams, a house is almost always you, your mind, your sense of self, the life you've built. So when the house burns, ask yourself a hard question. What in my life feels like it's falling apart right now? What have I been holding together by sheer willpower that's finally cracking? A burning house isn't random destruction. It's the part of you that already knows something can't stay the way it is. Second, you're trapped in the fire, surrounded with no way out. If the feeling was pure panic, walls of flame closing in, every exit blocked, this dream is usually about overwhelm. A situation in your waking life that you feel you cannot escape. A job, a relationship, a pressure that keeps rising. There's even a name for what this can point to: burnout. Sometimes the mind shows you literal fire because that's exactly how it feels to be slowly consumed by something you can't walk away from. Third, you start the fire, or you're holding it in your hands. This one flips the meaning completely. Here you're not the victim, you're the source. This often points to your own anger or desire, something powerful inside you that wants out. It can be the part of you that's ready to burn down an old situation on purpose. Or it can be guilt, a feeling that you set something off in your waking life that you can't take back. Either way, the fire is yours. The power is yours. Fourth, a wildfire, a forest, a city, the whole world burning. When the fire is massive, far bigger than you, it usually points to a huge transition. Something on a scale you can't control. The ending of an entire chapter. And here's what most people miss in this version. A wildfire is nature's way of clearing the old, dead growth so the new can finally come through. If you're dreaming of the world on fire, some part of you may sense that a whole season of your life is ending, and as frightening as that is, it's making room for what's next. And fifth, the one people misread the most. The fire is calm. A candle, a fireplace, a campfire in the dark, and you feel peaceful. If there was no panic, if anything you felt warmth, comfort, a quiet kind of awe, then this was never about destruction at all. A calm, contained fire is one of the oldest symbols of the inner spark. Passion, inspiration, the light of something new being born in you. A controlled flame is a sign that the powerful energy inside you is exactly that, controlled, yours to use. You may be closer to a creative or spiritual awakening than you realize, and that brings me to the part I promised you, the part most people get completely wrong about fire dreams. They wake up, they see flames, and they panic. It's a warning, something bad is coming. And they close the app more afraid than when they opened it. But Jung saw fire very differently. To him, fire was the symbol of transformation itself, the force that burns away the old self so a new one can emerge. Think about every story humans have ever told about it, the phoenix that dies in flame and rises from its own ashes, the old idea of purification by fire, burning away what no longer serves you. Fire doesn't just destroy, fire transforms. So when you dream of something burning, the real question isn't, what bad thing is coming? The real question is, what in my life is ready to be transformed? What old version of myself is finally burning away? Because the fear you feel watching it burn is often just the fear of letting go, of admitting that something is over. But on the other side of that fire is almost always space. Space for something you couldn't build while you were holding on to the old thing. So before you go, here's what I want you to actually do with this dream. Don't ask whether a fire dream is good or bad. Ask yourself 3 things. First, what in my life right now feels like it's burning or out of control? Second, what intense emotion have I been holding in? Anger, passion, grief, desire. And third, what might need to end so that something new can finally grow? Because the fire is already pointing at the answer. Your mind lit it for a reason. All that's left is to understand what it's trying to burn away. Fire isn't only destruction, it's the oldest symbol of change we have. The same flame that burns the old to the ground is the one that lights the way forward. So here's my question for you. In your dream, what was the fire doing? Was your house burning? Were you trapped? Were you holding the flame yourself? Tell me in the comments. The detail matters more than you think, and I read them. And if you want to keep learning what your dreams are really trying to tell you, subscribe. Because your mind speaks in symbols every single night. Fire, water, snakes, falling. And once you learn the language, you start to understand yourself in a way most people never do. I'm glad you're here. Sleep well, and pay attention to what you dream next.